Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays, and I'm in the Benham, a tier 9 US destroyer. I'm on the map the Atlantic in a 3-point domination game. So it's a tier 9 battle, which is quite lovely. So that means there are some poor tier 7s around. There are 2 Donskoys, and well, there is Alaska for Raider, and I'm already raided. But I'm really much at the outskirts here. I saw the Donskoy coming, and I'm ready to run away. Also, there aren't too many ships who have shots at me, so it should be fine. Now I'm getting sandwiched between 2 Donskoys here, which is, let's just say, slightly unfortunate. The Alaska, though, is just been spotted there in the north here. So, there would also be a Friesland with Hydro, but we know he is at the sea cap. It looks like we might even be getting the sea cap, which is kind of surprising considering that there are Friesland and Alaska. And most of our fleet is going towards A, which unfortunately the enemy will take before our forces arrive, it looks like. But maybe they can just take it back. And there are some torps coming. So it looks like the enemy destroyer might actually be in front of... This is not something that I would expect. I don't know, like there is definitely an enemy destroyer in here, and I can stop him once again. I have to be careful. The enemy destroyer will try to torpedo me, and I will try to torpedo him. And there is obviously the Donskoy. Now usually I would expect a destroyer to sit like not in front of this island, right? But on the sides, because otherwise you can't run away. If you sit like exactly if you... like especially if you sit broadside in front of this island, it's just a death trap. But I'm trying to torp there now, because that might just be where the enemy destroyer is located. Also, I should be better angled, and there you go, he was exactly there. Not a good spot for a destroyer to sit. Now here come his return torps. Also, I'm not best angled. Right, if I had my rear pointing towards this, it would be much better. And there is the Akatsuki, and it looks like he is leaving. But he didn't create a very evil wall of torps, so I should be able to get away just fine. And I've left the cap. Not sure if that was why, but I'm getting raided again. I'm inside the radar range of 2 Donskoys, and that was Donskoy that was radaring. So that's lovely. Now, the second Donskoy should still have a radar ready. So I have to be careful. Now, if I enter the cap right here, I should be fine. On the other hand, I might just want to continue torping this side, so we will see. I mean, so far we have secured A, C still fought over, we are equal on ships. Nothing too worrisome. It looks like we will be getting B. There are still some ships around here who might actually help me, or not, we will see. The last one, the Yamaki, have to be careful, they're in the north, they should probably consider retreating, the Yamaki probably already is, and we need our forces in the south just to push here around heavily, hopefully sink the Colorado and then reinforce the center. Overall, I'm not too unhappy with how this goes. Now I'm taking the B cap, I'm outside of radar range. But unfortunately I'm also not really in a position to torpedo much, and well, I'm in Benham. I'd like to torpedo lots of it. So let's get closer to that North Carolina, and we will see. Also means I'm getting closer to the Donskoy, and there is a Donskoy radar. But it looks like the radar was already running for a while, so it's already gone. Everything's fine. So, it's actually pretty good for us that the enemy decided to just leave. I mean, they are still heavily invested into the sea cap, I suppose. But the forces they had here around B could have tried a lot harder to defend this cap, it feels like. But you know, I'll take it. Now we are in an ideal spot. We have 2 cap circles. So we are going to get ahead on points. We are equal on ships. And all we need to do now is basically just defend. Looks like probably Chungmu is trying to smoke up the Colorado. Not sure if that's gonna help. I have a feeling this Colorado is going down soon. Thing is, with smoking up battleships, a lot of them just don't stop. Like, the smoke only helps if the battleship stops shooting. They might actually have stopped shooting. So smoke cannot be used for battleships to stealth fire really, but it can be used for them to drop into concealment if they need to like heal up. And the Colorado is visible again. Oh, it also might be that he's getting raided by Viper here in the black. Which is at least slightly amusing. So, we've just lost the Lazo, and I've got Torps going for the North Carolina. There is one, and I think the second salvo might seal the deal. There we go.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Well, there's a Friesland. Friesland does have Hydro, but I mean, it's not guaranteed that he has it running, so I'm trying to torpedo his smoke. The thing is, what am I going to do now here, right? Most of the enemy force is here on the right flank, and I should probably sail there and try to torp the incoming fleet. But they do have an Alaska with them, so I need to avoid that. Also, there is still a Donskoy that's currently unknown. Maybe we can torp an Alsace. So we are still equal on ships. And, well, we definitely have the better position, although it's anyone's game. Now I guess I'll just go towards the right side here and we will see what we can do. I don't think I can be much more help yet or in the middle. Also, I might be able to provide some spotting here on the right flank. We're going to find out. Now, torps for the Alsace are looking quite lovely, although, like, Benham torps don't hit that hard, as you might have noticed. So the Alsace is still very much floating. But, I mean, he's slowly getting whittled down, hopefully. So Alaska is getting closer, and I definitely want to stay out of radar range. The Donskoy is also getting closer, I suppose. So it looks like the enemy is really pushing this flank with all the ships they have, except maybe the Shumu. So what are our ships doing? Our Chojo is in a bit of a bad spot, I'd say, because he is too far away from the fighting. I mean, all he can do where he is now is maybe search for Chungmu, which isn't going to be helpful in a Chojo. I mean, a deep water story, it's not like you can watch the stops. No Chojo, what you need is go the other way. Like, basically, he's taking himself out of the fight in a brawling ship. There isn't much of an excuse where he's going. He is needed right here in the center. Now we have the Bismarck, who is also sailing away from the enemy storm. Bismarck's a brawler, but there are a lot of ships here. So we will see. The Lyon will arrive, hopefully, somewhat soonish. And we've just lost the cruiser. Now, but they might be losing an Alsace, which is definitely helpful. I'm technically inside the Alaska raider, but obviously the Alaska doesn't know that, so she hasn't necessarily a reason to raid her now. And if the Alaska would raid her, I would be out of the radar pretty soon. So I'm a bit hesitant here. Obviously, I can't torpedo, well, I don't want to torpedo the Surrey, but the Surrey has no reason to reverse or go back here. So I'm a little careful with my torps here, and I'm hoping that I can torp the Alaska when it's pushing in here. Not sure how that will work. So I don't want to sail here too far away, but I need to stay at least on the edge of that radar bubble. Call it that. So my movements are limited by the Alaska, so if the Alaska would go down, it would be lovely. There is a Donskoy also coming this way. So we will see. Our Georgia still remains useless, which is unfortunate, because he's a top tier battleship. And our only top tier battleship we've left. But you know, as I said, it's not looking too shabby. The problem is that the enemy might very well be able to take the B camp, because our defenders are, I'm not sure how willing they are to defend. And as a destroyer here, as I said, I gotta be careful with the radar. So I might be trying to torp the Bismarck that's pushing in here next. Also, Bismarck has Hydro. It's also something to be aware of. Now, I could try smoking here and just use my guns, but the Benham's guns aren't that great, and there are two issues. One of them is that I think I'm providing spotting, especially for the Surrey. I think you could see the others probably. And again, I mean, if the Surrey is shooting, maybe the team would see her as well. But also the problem is, right, if you're in a smoke screen and I don't really have any help, there's nothing stopping those guys from pushing me with hydro. And that's a very easy way to die. And I'd prefer not to do that. So I'm trying to keep them guessing where exactly I am and just torp them on my best ability. And that was some nice hits on the Bismarck. Once again, I mean, he isn't sinking, but you know, we did something. And we softened him up for my team to hopefully care of him. Now it looks like enemy destroyer is capping. Because I mean, this Bismarck definitely got interrupted, but they are capping regardless, so... One of the IDs is in here. And, well, old Georgia still trying to be... But I mean... unfortunately for the Georgia, he's trying so hard to be useless, but he might be running into enemy cruisers there, and he might actually do something. So, you know... I guess his plan is not going to work. Some torps on the Sora, that is great, and the Sora is now turning towards me, but that's the problem, right? I have to be careful that I'm not getting hunted down by a cruiser. He's on very low health, but I don't really have that much of... don't really have that high of a DPM. And you know, as I said, like if a cruiser pushes you with hydro, you do have some issues. Not that I know that he has hydro, and it looks like he's just... Okay, that's a problem solved. Now that's nice, because I didn't want to run that far south. But I just always had to, like, the only way I mean, I would have tried sailing all around them somehow. But you gotta be careful that you are not getting ambushed by enemy ships. So... Now I can finally go back. As I said, I've been pushed too far out of position for my liking. But I can go back. Oh, we have lost the Georgia. Well, I mean, doesn't matter. He wasn't. Anyway, I suppose. And I'm not sure why our team has abandoned the B cap so heavily. Like, that Bismarck could have... I mean, he didn't want to charge into all of those forces, but he could have just stayed here near an island and tried to defend. The Donskoy could have stayed down here. Helped with Raider, maybe stopped that Akatsuki from capping. Oh well. Now let's see what I can do. I mean, we are behind one ship. I still have my 2 division mates. And well, our Ibuki is doing what Ibukis do best, which means shoot stuff from range. And obviously Viper in his black is trying to maybe spot some of the destroyers, maybe get some use out of his radar. Meanwhile, I'm trying to retake the B cap because, well, at least my team is luring all of them away from the objectives. We still have a lead, points-wise, so if I flip B now, it's going to be lovely, potentially. Oh, there is a Donskoy is on very low health. If somebody could sink that, that would be lovely. And I'm trying to torp this way because I expected the Friesland is there. Friesland is going to be an issue. Unless, of course, I can torp her. I'm not sure how low health he is. But I don't have any support, and I might be full health, but the gunpowder of Friesland is no joke. And there he is, and you can see he's on. We are going to launch some torps there, and now we're just trying to gun him down. I do have my smoke ready, but the Friesland has hydro. Not necessarily ready right now, but if I smoke and he has hydro, then I'm just dead. So we are going to try to just do this with guns, and you can see how much this hurts. Said Friesland, no joke. There's a Confederate, and the Confederate triggered my captain, and well, we just destroyed him. Meanwhile, my division might destroy the other destroyer.
Problem solved, sir.
And suddenly this is looking quite lovely. Okay, so the enemy is down to 3 ships, and at this point I think we might actually have this. Although with how out of position some of our ships are, well, we will have to see. I mean, the Chungmu would still like hope some stuff. Viper is pretty low. I mean, Viper is the only one that I can actually see. Not sure how the health of the other ships is right now. And the Donskoy, has the Donskoy managed to heal? No, he hasn't. So that's something that I might be able to do with my guns. But the Donskoy could just radar me here. And if the Donskoy can radar me and sit behind this island, then he can easily sink me, because I can't shoot what I can't see. So I launched some torps here in the hopes that the Donskoy just sails into them. And I've got the camp. I guess at this point I could just sail away into the sunset and just assume that our points are going to do it. Okay, so we are shooting Donskoy and I'm getting spotted by the Fiji, which possibly a miscalculation on my part. I could just smoke here. Oh, I got 3 hits in the Donskoy and he's still alive. Oh my god, he's still alive. Maybe I should just have smoked here. I'm a bit afraid of the Donskoy radar and I thought if I stop moving I'm just an easier target. But you know, it's entirely possible that he's out of radar charges. It's actually pretty likely and down here. I mean, there is barely any time left and the Donskoy has used quite a bit of radar against me already. So yeah, I guess he was just out of radar charges. Now the Kraken's unleashed, the Fiji is down, they only have a Chungo left. And now at this point we're just reaching 1,000 points and winning. Which is quite lovely, I suppose. Here we are with the results. So that worked quite well overall. And it was a bit annoying that I just had to dodge radar all the time, but I did what Benhams do best. I just harassed them with torpedoes, I went for the objectives, and you know, overall it worked out. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys next time.